Hi everyone, my name is Mr. Paycheck and I am the Davidson College Advisor at East Rutherford High School. I'm going to take the next couple of minutes to discuss the SAT and ACT standardized tests, explaining what they are, how they work, and some important changes and how the tests are being used in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. The SAT and the ACT are the marquee standardized tests that are considered by colleges and universities as part of a student's undergraduate application. While schools do not have a preference for one or the other, which is to say that both tests are viewed as equally proficient at measuring a student's aptitude, there are some similarities in both tests as well as some differences between the two that are important to know. Speaking to the similarities in both tests, both take roughly 4 hours to complete in one sitting and are primarily offered on Saturdays. On the SAT website, sat.collegeboard.org, and the ACT website, act.org, you can see future test administration dates, as well as locations in and around Rutherford County where students can sign up to take the test. On average, the SAT and ACT are offered on one Saturday each month, usually towards the beginning of the month, and usually are found at least at one, if not multiple high schools in Rutherford County, are test sites that will administer either the SAT or ACT or both. Both tests cost roughly about the same as well. The basic ACT and SAT fees cost roughly $55 and $52 respectively for the 2021 academic year. Students from low-income or disadvantaged households and backgrounds can qualify for a fee waiver, meaning they can take the test for free. To find out if they qualify for a fee waiver, they should reach out to their Davidson advisor at their high school or their senior counselor. When taking the SAT or ACT, students should try to answer every question possible. There's no penalty for guessing and getting wrong answers, and the ACT and SAT scores are just based on the total number of correct answers a student receives. There are free preparation materials, both in paper and online form, available for students that their Davidson advisor at their high school can help them access. The biggest piece of advice that I give, and that unfortunately is not often followed by students, is prepare. The best way to improve your scores on the test or do well during your first administration is to practice. The more students familiarize themselves with the content, timing, and pace of the test, the better they will do. There are plenty of resources available to help students prepare for the SAT or ACT, but they must take the initiative to get the most out of these resources. As far as differences go between the two tests, the ACT and SAT's respective content and scoring systems are slightly different. The SAT contains 4 sections that fall into one of 2 categories: evidence-based reading and writing and math. There are 2 sections for evidence-based reading and writing and 2 sections for math. A student can receive a maximum score of 800 on each of those 2 categories, and the highest possible score is a 1600. The ACT, by contrast, contains 4 sections but with different subjects: English, math, reading, and science. A student receives a score on a scale of 1 to 36 in each section, and their scores are weighted equally. By adding up the score in each section and then dividing by 4, you'll arrive at the student's composite or overall ACT score. As a point of clarification for the ACT, the science portion of the test will not actually test a student's knowledge or aptitude in chemistry, science, physics, or any other hard science subject, but rather test a student's reading comprehension by providing excerpts from articles that will also contain graphs or charts in addition to the text. The subject matter might be tangentially about something related to science, but it is not imperative that students have a functioning knowledge of chemistry or biology or physics or any other scientific discipline in order to do well in the science section. As a point of reference, here are some SAT and ACT scores that would constitute the middle 50% range at popular colleges and universities for Rutherford County high school graduates to attend. Western Carolina's middle 50% SAT and ACT scores are respectively a 1080 to a 1250 for the SAT and a 20 to 25 for the ACT. Appalachian State's middle 50% scores are an 1100 to 1270 SAT and a 23 to 28 ACT. UNC Chapel Hill's middle 50% scores are a 1260 to 1440 SAT and a 27 to 33 ACT. And UNC Charlotte's middle 50% scores are an 1110 to 1270 SAT and a 21 to 26 ACT range. Isothermal Community College, which is the most popular post-secondary option for our students here in the county, as well as any other community college in North Carolina, do not require a certain ACT score, but if students meet certain benchmarks on either of those standardized tests, they may be automatically enrolled in courses that are for college credit instead of having to take prerequisite courses that would not count towards college credit. Finally, in light of COVID-19 and the fact that many test centers have had to close, many schools, including the UNC Public College and University system in North Carolina, have made the SAT or ACT score component of an application voluntary instead of mandatory, as was the case in years past. The guiding wisdom that I can provide is that students who have strong test scores should absolutely submit them to schools they are applying to, but they do not have to submit poor test scores if their scores are below that middle 50% range. In essence, it's a no-risk, high-reward situation this year. If a student wants to take the SAT or ACT again or for the first time and they're comfortable doing so, we encourage them to register to take it, especially because many applications for juniors and seniors that open in the spring will still likely require an ACT or SAT score as part of that scholarship application. As a final piece of information, all juniors in high school in North Carolina take the ACT for free during a school day sometime in the month of February. As far as we know right now, our juniors in Rutherford County will be taking the ACT come sometime in February 2021. I hope this information was helpful for you, and please feel free to reach out with any questions.
Genius is a Rutherford County Schools program designed to motivate you, the student, to achieve new levels of preparedness for your college years. Using effective and efficient methods for improving SAT, ACT scores, you will invest your time and effort into your own future. Each new level will bring new rewards and new inspiration to get you and your friends motivated.
I really like the parking privileges that gives people that deserve it closer parking spots to the school. We also think it's great that you could have laptop privileges over the summer.
There are 4 levels to aspire to. Level 1, Advancing Adept. Level 2, Salient Scholar. Level 3, Virtual Virtuoso. Level 4, Mental Maestro. Level up when you reach new high scores to unlock exclusive benefits such as parking privileges, athletic passes, summer laptop privileges, and more. Why is the program called Genius? Synonyms for genius include expert, master, whiz, and brainiac. These words describe you when you're prepared for the SAT and ACT. Why is the I emphasized? You refer to yourself using the first person pronoun I. Think about this. I am the most important part in this process. I determine my own success. I am a genius.
Of the rewards offered through the Genius program, which one motivates you the most?
Probably recognition, because I think it's really important that students are recognized for academic achievements and not just club achievements. I think academics are extremely important, and I don't think they're recognized enough.